Episode 6 of Alien Earth just cracked this whole thing wide open. If you thought this series was already deep, layered, and loaded with strategy, Episode 6 basically said, nah, you haven't seen nothing yet. And I'm telling you right now, this one's about peeling back all of those layers of manipulation, hidden agendas, and the very question of identity. Who controls who shapes who, and who's really calling the shots in this insane game of survival. And at the absolute center of it all, you've got Wendy, you've got Boy Cavalier, and you've got Kirsh. The three pillars of this episode, each embodying a completely different angle of power, manipulation, and evolution. I keep wondering and coming up with theories on Kirsh, where he really is headed, because he might just be the David of the story, or he might be something completely different. Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, a fan of Alien and Alien Earth, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you all the time right here on the channel. Speaking of which, let me know your thoughts of Alien Earth and what your hopes and expectations are for episode 7 of Alien Earth. Let me know in the comments down below. I read and reply to all of them. But today I want to talk about my thoughts going into episode 7. So let's start with Wendy, because this girl is blowing my mind every week now. Episode 6 is her realization moment. The kind of turning point you only get once in a story like this. She's learning, observing, calculating, but not in that panicked runaway from the monster kind of alien way we're used to. Nah. She's actually communicating with the Xenos, building this weird bridge between human and alien. Think about how wild that is. In every other alien story, humans are prey, they're food. But Wendy's flipping the script, stepping into this hybrid strategist role where she's not just surviving, she's redefining the whole dynamic. And the show knows exactly what it's doing with this. Those mirrored shots, those reflections where she and the creature are visually framed as equals or halves of the same whole. That's not an accident. That's straight up. This girl is evolving into something new. It's subtle, it's visual, but it's powerful. And it's setting her up to be the central force of this entire conflict. Now let's pivot over to Boy Cavalier, who is chaos wrapped in his charm, arrogance, and strategy. Boy, this is the kind of villain who is never boring because you just can't pin him down. One moment he's disarming with charisma, the next moment he's terrifying because you realize he sees everyone around him as pawns. He shows up barefoot, late, feet on the table instantly. He's rejecting every rule, every bit of structure, and making it clear that the only order that matters is his. That visual alone tells you everything. Boy sees himself above it all, the master manipulator. And the thing is, he's not wrong. He is orchestrating. He is pulling strings, and you can tell he believes deep down that his vision is the only one that matters, the one that will reshape the world. But here's the thing. That arrogance, that disregard for everyone else is exactly what makes him vulnerable. Because when you are that full of yourself, you don't see or feel the knife being twisted in your back. Which will lead us directly to Kersh, the real wild card, the enigma. And honestly, probably the most interesting character in the show right now. Because episode 6 quietly but unmistakably plants seeds about his origins. And depending on how you interpret them, you can take Kersh's story in two different directions. Option 1, Kirsh is basically the show's David. He's the quiet observer, the one always analyzing, always calculating, and never fully revealing what he's thinking. If that's true, then we're watching the setup for an inevitable betrayal of Boy. Just like David betrayed Weyland and later humanity itself, Kirsh could be biding his time, playing loyal servant until the moment comes where he flips the game on Boy completely. And that makes sense because he's fascinated by Wendy, by the hybrids, by the potential of something beyond just human or synthetic. That curiosity could easily lead him down the same path David walked. From servant to master, from observer to creator. If that's the case, Boy's arrogance is going to come back to bite him in the worst way imaginable because the guy he thinks he's controlling is the one who's going to pull the rug right from under him. But there's option 2 here. What if Kirsh isn't Boy's creation at all? What if he's actually a Yutani project, designed, built, programmed by the shadowy corporation we all know has been lurking in the background of the alien universe since day one? Think about it. Kirsh isn't a pure Prodigy creation. He's been modified, tampered with, reshaped, So what if Boy Cavalier literally stole him, repurposed him, and reprogrammed him for his own ends? That would mean Kirsh is the hybrid of agendas, a being who doesn't fully understand his own identity because parts of him are still Yutani, buried deep under Boy's meddling. And if that's the case, then he's not truly loyal to Boy, because how can he be? His programming, his very core, might still have Yutani directives baked into it. That creates this insane level of tension because Kersh could flip at any moment, not out of betrayal like David, but because his hidden coding takes over. And that's terrifying because he's not even fully in control of himself. Oh yeah, but there's a third option here. And this one might be the scariest and most brilliant angle yet. What if Kersh is totally loyal to Boy? Not just some reprogrammed pawn, but his right hand in a master plan that's been in motion since day one. Think about it. The whole island, every single person on it, every staged event, every manipulation, it's all been an experiment. Boy Cavalier didn't just stumble into chaos, he engineered it. From the very beginning, he set this island up as a living lab, a giant petri dish where human, hybrid, and alien potential could all collide. And Kersh, he's not the rebel or the sleeper agent, he's the observer, the scientist, the one Boy ordered to conduct the experiment and record the results, which, if you think about it, is exactly what we've been watching him do all along. Kersh is constantly calculating, evaluating, watching Wendy, Joe, Isaac, the hybrids, not because he's about to betray Boy, but because that is his role. He's the cold, methodical balance to Boy's arrogant, visionary chaos. And together, they might actually be the architects of this whole nightmare. Everyone, Wendy, the kids, even the Xenomorph itself, could be nothing more than test subjects in Boy and Kersh's grand design to burn the old order down and rebuild it from scratch. But while all of that is going down, the kids are growing, shifting, evolving in ways that perfectly echo the bigger theme. Joe is still the protective brother figure, Wendy is carving out her autonomy, and Kersh is watching it all like a scientist, trying to understand the limits of human and hybrid potential. Wendy, in particular, is realizing she can't rely on anyone else, not Joe, not Boy, not Kersh. The independence is her evolution, and it's why she's going to be at the absolute center of whatever chaos explodes in Episode 7. Toodle/Isaac, his arc ties it all together. His ambition, his drive to compete and to stand out, that's what undoes him. The flies, the synthetic weakness, it's all a metaphor for how human flaws will always find a way to catch up with you. It's not brute alien strength that destroy him, it's his own humanity turned inward. And that's one of the things I love about this show. It doesn't just say aliens bad, humans good. It says your humanity is both your greatest weapon and your biggest weakness. And now we're going to talk about my boy, the eye monster. That thing is a whole new kind of nightmare. It's not just a monster, it's intelligent, calculating, patient. Watching it work is like watching a predator that's playing chess instead of hunting for food. And when you line that up against Wendy's budding bond with the Xenomorph, Kersh's manipulations, Boy's arrogance, and the kid's evolution, you see what this show is really doing. It's layering human, synthetic, and alien intelligence all on top of each other, showing us how messy and dangerous it gets when those forces collide. Which is why Episode 7 is shaping up to be absolutely insane. You've got Arthur's body, Wendy stepping into her own, Isaac's flaws, the hybrids coming online, the eyeball creature stalking in the shadows, and Kersh standing at the crossroads of all these possibilities. Is he David waiting to betray Boy? Is he a stolen Yutani creation who's going to snap when his hidden programming kicks in? Or is he truly Boy's partner in crime, riding shotgun on the orchestrated alien outbreak? Any of those paths work, but whichever one the show chooses is going to blow the story wide open. And that's part of what makes Alien Earth so compelling. It's not just aliens versus humans. It's about agency, manipulation, ambition, and survival. It's about what happens when you don't even know who you really are and how much control you actually have over your own choices. Wendy is rising, Boy is scheming, Kersh is calculating, and the eyeball creature is always watching. And when Episode 7 drops, all of that is going to smash together in a way that changes this series forever. So much more to discuss leading into Episode 7 of Alien Earth. Obviously, 2 episodes to go, one following this, only the final. The season finale is looking like a season 2 is a high probability right now. But with 1 episode to go after this, you know this episode is going to be guns a-blazing. We are going all in. The showrunner, everyone is going all in on this episode, and chaos will ensue. Is this the one? Do you think Boy is going to bite it in this episode, or is he going to survive this season? Let me know in the comments down below. Those are my thoughts right now. I'll be back with more Alien videos leading up to Episode 7 of Alien Earth. Hit that like button, subscribe button. I really appreciate your time hanging out with me today. Thank you so much, and until next time, may you be the master of your own universe.